This is
You're
so
going to be looking
fun.
at the screen the whole time.
I'm gonna be looking at the screen the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You've looked at it twice.
I'm just, I'm just
I
making
locked it
sure.
on you.
I'm making sure that the angle is right. Does this feel good? Do we like this?
I think so.
All right.
I think it's because we were angling toward each other, but also looking there, but the camera's
The
there.
camera's there. Which, by the way, do you want to do a little describe in vivid detail what you see is in front of you?
Well, the problem is that it's camouflage, so I can't.
Okay, this is actually a pretty funny story. So, my phone is the camera.
There's a Sharpie.
It's a marker. Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, there is camouflage tape, which
It's kinesiology
is just
tape.
functional. What?
Yeah, that's for muscles.
Okay, I didn't know that. So, someone that I was seeing stole that from Goodwill. So, thank you.
Stole it from Goodwill?
Literally stole it from Goodwill, yes. It's a camouflage, which honestly, this pattern of camouflage is really good. Anyways, the point being, we're describing in vivid detail what is in front of us. I do have a tripod. So I was like, oh, cool. We have a tripod. My phone is the camera. I don't have an attachment that holds the phone to the tripod. So I just took the camo, apparently kinesiology tape.
Yeah.
And have, no pun intended,
jerry-rigged it. Oh, that felt good.
Wrapped around my cherry phone case, and it is plugged into the laptop, and it is. We'll have to post a picture of it.
We're also, I feel like, a little ASMR because there's a toddler sleeping behind us.
Yes, correct. There is a wall separating us
with
and
a sound
toddler.
machine and everything, but we're still out here like whispering.
Yeah, it does feel whispery. So we just kind of have to like settle into. Also, we're in person.
Yes,
Obviously, things are visually a little bit different. You don't know how I feel about this. I feel like we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna be like, I love this so much, and I'm gonna wish that every episode, which by the way, I love already, but I'm gonna be like, I want to be in person recording. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to start getting some sponsorships then, because that's gonna be a pretty expensive habit.
We'll just take turns back and forth. It doesn't have to be every episode, obviously. Which by the time this airs, we're gonna be in 2026, right? Although I did think about, since it is a special episode,
I think.
Okay, well, throwing this out there, because it's a special episode, do we want to release it sooner? Or
is it special because we're in person?
It's special to me.
I mean, let's see how it goes first.
All right.
It could wind up never seeing the light of day.
That's so true.
We could listen to this back and watch it back and go, this is the most irritating.
Oh, yeah. It definitely will.
You know what I do want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
Is how bad my eye hurts.
Okay. It does look like it's hurting.
It hurts.
What's going on?
Here's the thing. I have looked this up because, of course, I'm concerned that, hooray, I have finally found the correct ADHD medication, and it's exploding my eyeballs. But it doesn't make sense because I don't have high blood pressure, and I even recently taken my blood pressure post taking this medication.
I have a blood pressure cuff.
Blood pressure's still good.
Okay.
So it seems like that's the only correlation, but it doesn't seem to actually check out.
Well, how long has this been going on for? Your eyes being weird?
A couple months. Because when I first started
Is this not the first time a blood vessel is busted in your eye?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
But
this is the first time it hurt, because the last time it was more like behind my lid, kind of up here.
Okay, do we not think that something to do with yesterday's having something in your eye had something to do with
That was
this?
this eye.
Oh, this is, by the way.
This has been a chaotic.
I need to clarify. This is the second time that that's happened because
Oh
you're right.
yeah,
I am looking at the
I knew you
non-existent.
would. I knew you would.
First of all, you called that I would be looking at the screen, and two, oh, you know what it is? I had this thought earlier, and I did not complete the thought. The reason why I think it's that eye is because I was watching you in the reflection of the mirror.
Oh,
So to me,
everything was reversed. All right,
is that justification enough for my?
that's fine.
Well, I couldn't be more excited that you're here. I think that might be important to note that you're visiting me.
Oh yeah, this is Jerry's space.
This is, for anyone who's close to me, knows my couch story.
It's such a good couch.
This couch is one of, if not the best find, the best secondhand thing I own. I mean, there are arguably some things I have fought for secondhand, and this one is by far the best. What you don't see, look, I'm pointing. What you don't see,
Nobody's over there.
nobody's there, you're there, is that this is only one half. This couch is 11 foot by 12 foot.
It's a big
It's a
couch.
big L. Anyway, point being, you can have a party on the couch, but I'm pretty
But we
proud
won't
of it.
be.
We will be having. You know what? I arguably would call this a party.
By my standards, what time is it? 11:11.
Make a wish.
Wish my eyes would stop exploding.
We got off that. So we think it's okay. So your initial theory was that it was your medication. However,
I don't know. I mean,
among
we can do another blood pressure cuff and see. What if my blood pressure's like through the roof right now?
you would know, wouldn't you feel it?
I don't know.
When my blood pressure's off, my whole body's wacky. But I have low blood pressure. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like a huge problem.
Well, anyway,
We're not gonna find the solution for your eye this
I don't
evening.
think
I don't think so. Okay.
I don't think so. I've just been doing a lot of artificial tears. Some real tears. Oh well.
I don't like that.
It's just strange. It's strange that yesterday I was like, my eye's kind of itchy when we were talking. When we were having a little kiki last night. And then when I actually looked in the mirror, I was like, oh shit, that's
That's the first thing I noticed this morning whenever I saw
That's why it hurt, yeah.
I was like, oh, your eye is red.
yeah. I just thought like, oh, I'm tired. I'm not used to staying up. It's past 10 p.m. I'm rubbing my eyes.
Right.
No. Oh well.
I need you to know I almost just did it again.
You almost looked over there.
No, I didn't almost just look over there. I almost said something about you having something in your
Do you think you did something in your eye?
I am like Dory.
Yeah.
P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, baby.
Yeah.
Good luck finding a transition.
I just keep wanting to start my story. I'm like, it's so funny because normally, this is what it is. Because normally we aren't together, I actually want to just sort of chit chat with you.
We have
And
been
there's things to
together
talk
for a couple of days.
This is like day 3. And so I don't
really want to talk to me.
I'm like, what am I going to talk to you about? My day? We did it together.
We did do it together.
Talk about my eyeballs some more.
Yeah, we can. You know what? I was thinking. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so I don't.
How do we transition then? Into your story.
I think I just.
Okay, can I have a palate prep? What kind of flavor is today?
Okay, actually, let me give you this.
Okay.
So we on our YouTube, I still have all my old videos up.
Yes.
I didn't actually private any of them because
Great.
it messes
Okay.
with our view count, and then that's a
Oh,
whole thing.
okay. Great.
So I covered this story back when I was never trying to like be a YouTuber. I just
Right.
really I like this stuff, and so I
Yeah,
was just making videos on it.
oh, look, I get it.
But I covered this story because I thought it was interesting.
Wait, this is so fun. So then, like, what
And
is it,
I
like 10 years later or 6 years later?
probably it's a long time ago.
You've
This
had
is
your
an earlier
YouTube
one.
for a long time.
Yeah. And I remember getting some hate comments on this one
Oh,
of people being like,
why?
"No, this is so stupid," like with that sort of thing.
Oh, so sorry. Didn't mean to
And
bump you.
and yet I thought about it and thought I'm gonna cover this story.
Wait, why is it stupid?
Here's the thing.
Am I gonna think it's stupid?
Absolutely not.
Of
If you
course.
thought anything I think is stupid, we wouldn't have a podcast together.
That's. I don't think I've ever thought one thing you brought to me is stupid, to be honest.
Well, it's how do I pitch this? Just because you and I talk about something doesn't mean we subscribe to the belief that we're talking about.
If that was the case, we would be in a real big mess.
Probably in jail, I think. I don't know, but
At this point, February, absolutely.
and what episode is this? But but it's just like, oh, this is a different sort of take. This is an interesting thing. I hate the word interesting. It's such a nothing word, and I say it to you so much.
Well, what's funny is one thing I've learned about listening to myself for 500,000 hours thus far is that I'm getting rid of interesting, like.
Yeah. We're much better with like.
I agree.
You're getting much better with
Thank you.
But you did have a problem.
It needed to be addressed. It needed to be discussed.
For the listener, if you ever think, like, oh, I don't know, I don't really think you say that much, that's because, so Jerry and I edit each other's episodes. And we go through and delete the filler words when it's needed. And there were a couple episodes of Jerry's that I texted her and said, babes.
I had to personally apologize.
Babes, you gotta get it together.
Because my processing speed, I got a lot of things going on in the background. You know what I mean? You know what?
You have a lot of windows.
I don't need to explain myself. First of all, I don't need to explain myself. I'm having an internal battle over here. Hold on, let me work it out.
Yeah, but anyway.
Back to the praise you were giving me.
Actually, I was just going to go back to the story. I gave you... We did that.
Wait, are we sure we don't want to talk about how much better I am at something? Are we? Okay.
Relax.
All right.
But I do think this is a unique... It's a fun... Well, fun's the wrong word because there's actually
we're getting rid of interesting and we're getting rid of fun. It is find a neutral word that is a descriptor.
There's a lot of pieces to this.
Okay. Multifaceted,
nuanced, cultural. There's good sort of timeline. I think it's a cool story. I think it's a unique story.
Great.
I think it's not told a lot. Watch it be told all the time. I can say I've never heard it on a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's just get into it.
I would like to talk about it for 10 more minutes before we actually do it. Is that?
Here's what I'm going to ask you. What's your take on curses? Do you believe in curses?
Oh, I do not have a concise answer for this.
Do you have a 10-minute long answer?
Do you have anything to say at all, or are you going to leave me hanging?
Would you like to do anything with that microphone?
Yeah, I'll do a little something. So I think it depends. Which we don't like that. We had a joke in grad school that every answer to literally everything was it depends.
Mm.
We would ask a really important question and be like, it depends. And it's like, okay, well, duh, it depends on the situation. I'm going to throw that out here.
Therapists are so fun. What a
Yeah.
riot.
Yeah, it
That was our
depends.
big joke.
It does depend. It
That was our
depends.
big running joke, was us saying it depends.
Isn't that so
Isn't that
hilarious?
so
Isn't that the
funny?
funniest thing you've ever heard? And by joke, I mean like the bane of my existence. Yeah. Anyway. So okay, how do I really feel about curses? I think I do believe in them.
Go on.
She's like, are you going to make me do all the work?
Because I think I know what you're gonna say.
I think I do believe in them
Is it because you think that the more you
because
think about something, the more power it
I
has?
I believe in whether or not it's an equally agreed upon. Like we're all using the same word, right? Like curse, whatever, poltergeist, that like energy.
Okay.
That's where my brain goes. Is like,
Okay.
you know, I believe that energy can manifest in certain ways.
Right.
So why wouldn't a curse involve that manifestation of certain energies? Do you know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like saying curse is something along the lines of saying, or similar to something along the lines of saying energy or manifestation, or
Yeah.
there's this many different branches off the same tree.
Just like a big word blob.
Yes. So curses feel like they could be similar to manifestations for me.
Okay. That was question 1.
Okay, great.
Question 2. Do you subscribe to the idea that people can sell their soul to the devil?
Well, I don't know if I believe in the devil, so I don't know that I would participate in that line of thinking. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I don't think that you can sell your soul to the devil.
Okay. Beautiful. So,
Yeah. Am I gonna take
Led
back?
Zeppelin's success
Wait.
was not just legendary. Some people believe it was bought with something more than talent.
Okay, so people believe that Led Zeppelin sold his soul to the devil.
Okay, first of all, Led Zeppelin is not a person.
They. What did I say? He? People believe that Led Zeppelin sold their souls. Like
Well,
everybody
yeah,
in Led Zeppelin.
a few of them did. We're gonna get to it. Okay,
What do you mean a few of them did sell their
we're
souls?
gonna get to it. Not everybody participated. We're gonna get to it.
Okay.
But first, we have to talk about Aleister Crowley.
Okay, great.
Are you familiar?
No.
Really?
Really?
You've never heard the word, the name?
No, I have, but I'm not.
That's it.
That's just the name, yeah.
Ahem. Okay, you know how
Classes in
sometimes
session.
like a movie comes out and it's just sort of a total bomb, and then maybe a decade later, a couple decades later, a whole new generation of people find that movie and it's like, this is camp. This is so good.
Yes.
Aleister Crowley has that sort of energy, but personified. Because now, if you're into any sort of occult studies, you're going to know his name.
Right.
It's going to come up.
But not then.
When all of it was happening,
Kind of like lame duck
mischievous.
feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
So Aleister was actually born Edward Alexander Crowley in October.
Interesting. I do love the name Aleister.
It's a cool name. Maybe that's why he gave it to himself.
I mean, that makes sense.
Did you ever want to change your name?
Well, I kind of have.
I guess that's true.
So yes.
But
It's not really. Although they're very different flavors.
yeah.
I just shortened it, obviously, for those listening.
I wanted to change my name. I really wanted
What did
to
you
be
want your
called
name?
Bowie.
You know, that's the first thing I thought of because you said that earlier.
Yeah.
And you're like, it was a joke.
I had it ready.
Yeah.
I did.
And then I thought to myself, that makes so much sense. And that's such a cute name.
Thanks. Well, anyway, he was born in England. And he was born into a pretty posh lifestyle. He didn't really have to worry. His dad was actually an heir to a brewing fortune.
Oh, Nepo baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, heir money, okay?
Yeah.
So early in life, he was pretty averse to Christianity, but it wasn't like a defining characteristic.
Okay.
That's just sort of a fact. Just a marble I'm rolling
Matter
out
of
to you.
fact. Okay.
He was very great at chess. He was what I would call eccentric. But again, he's just trying to be like the cool hipster guy, kind of, as he's growing up.
We know how that goes.
Yeah.
We've experienced that.
He, after actually going to school for a while, he ultimately just decided, I'm cool, and left without a degree. Just, yeah. It sounds like he put in enough time that he probably could have just stuck it out a little bit longer, but he basically said, I'm cool. I've done the thing. I'm
I
going
know
to check
a few
out.
folks like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So he left without a degree and decided, I'm going to travel the world.
Because I have money.
Because I can do that, whatever.
Yeah.
And he did. I mean, he was a mountaineer.
What year are we in?
Well, he was born in 1875. So
1875.
Yeah, so this is a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
1875.
Okay.
So he was a mountaineer.
Whoa.
And he practiced on the cliffs of Great Britain before participating in a climb of Earth's second and third highest mountains. K2.
In the late 1800s is wild. Because that's
by this time, it's like early 1900s.
Oh, true.
Because K2 and Kanchenjunga in 1902 and 1905, respectively, is when he climbed those. K2 went pretty well.
Okay.
He reached an elevation of 18,600 feet. Wow. And that was a pretty big deal. But the second expedition...
Why do you do that at that
Wow.
time?
Yeah, I don't like heights. But the second expedition was not a good one. The group that he was with were actually surprised by an avalanche, and 4 of the climbers were unfortunately killed.
Oh.
But here's a little peek into his character. There was a rumor, that he had advised the group to take a separate route, and so when they didn't listen, he ignored the cries for help from the survivors.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
Not great.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that as a parent, I understand sometimes going like, well, I told you not to do it and you did it, and that's your choice.
Yeah, made your bed.
But those things are usually like, I told you not to jump on that piece of furniture. Right. Oh, you're dying or almost dying or could be dying.
Or
and I'm going,
crying for help
later
because you're dying.
Deuces told you not to.
Yeah.
Those are different things. There's different things. But anyway.
Very different.
Moving on. That's just a little blip in character. Like a lot of religious skeptics in the late 1800s, early 1900s, he became fascinated with the occult. Obviously, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
In 1898, he joined the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
The hell is that?
Okay, so basically it's a group rooted in Rosicrucian beliefs, and he even had a little rivalry going with my man, poet William Butler Yeats.
Okay, interesting.
So let's talk a little bit about the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
I've never, first of all, the name is...
It's so much.
Speaking of camp.
The Masons, boring. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. I'm interested.
Cult at dawn? Of dawn. The cult... Say it again?
The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
Of the Golden Dawn.
I like that you just put the word cult in it.
I was...
Hermetic, and you heard the C, and you said cult.
Here's the thing. I repeated that back, and as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, that's not right. Anyway. Golden Dawn.
So, it was a late 19th century secret society dedicated to the study of the occult and metaphysics.
Okay, so kind of cool.
Pretty sick. Yeah.
It
was founded in London in 1888, and it was co-founded by William Wynne Westcott, Samuel Little McGregor Mathers, William Robert Woodman. none of these people come up again, but now you know some things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little bit of a blend of Kabbalah, alchemy, tarot, astrology.
Yeah, I definitely would be showing up on those evenings for
Absolutely.
those meetings.
Yeah. Put
Totally.
me in a cloak.
Do
Give
we
me the
think that they
secret
had
code
like
door.
snacks and stuff too? Like most meetings?
They're probably, I mean, they were probably just like drinking.
Yeah. True.
You
True.
know, probably like a little bourbon sipper.
Yeah, totally.
So the idea was that with this little blend that they had, they were creating a system of like magical training and ceremonial magic. So pretty fun stuff.
Where are we at
Well, it was
physically?
London. We're in
London.
We're not here.
We're not that cool.
We're not here. But it attracted a lot of notable people like Yeats and Crowley.
Yeah.
It did eventually fracture into some successor groups because, as with all good
That's
things,
what happens.
there's like interpersonal drama.
Doesn't last.
Things occur. But
I can imagine there was some contradicting opinions in such a group.
yeah. So today there are modern organizations that carry the name, but they're not actually like related.
They wish they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the practices were essentially aimed at understanding reality and achieving spiritual enlightenment.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, aren't we all trying to understand reality? And like, is there another side?
I mean,
What can
that's
we
literally
do?
why I
What
was
can we
like,
tap into?
what? I do that. That's.
These are conversations every day.
I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. So anyway, that's like a whole episode in and of itself, which would be a lot of fun. But back to Crowley.
Yep.
The turning point for him was on a casual trip to Egypt in 1904.
Super cash.
He claimed that he had a mystical experience and he wrote the Book of Law. That was the name of it. The Book of Law, which he said was dictated to him by a non-physical being named Ayahuasca.
What?
Yep. That book introduced his most famous teaching, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
What does it make you think of?
Thy will be done.
Interesting.
Thy kingdom come. That's the first thing I thought of.
I love this dichotomy because when I read that, the first thing that I thought of was the Church of Satan and Anton LaVey.
Really?
Because do what thou wilt is is their whole thing.
No. Well, okay. I will give you that, and that I'm way more familiar with what I just said out loud as part of. Do you know what I mean? Versus
Yeah.
it being like, oh, the literature that I've read or the things that I've learned about. Instead, it's like, thy will be done. You know what I mean?
No, but that's why I think it's
My
so
little
funny
like programmed
because,
brain.
yeah, I'm as the Catholic in the room,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, okay, so, but the idea itself wasn't new, and we're going to get to Anton LaVey in a little bit, but the
Okay,
idea
great.
wasn't new. It was actually a couple hundred years old
Sure.
because it had already been said by Francois Rabelais. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but Crowley centered an entirely new religion around it called Thelema, from the Greek word for will. So the Ordo Templi Orientis, a mystical group with German roots, actually took that book, the Book of Law, and made it essentially their scripture, like their personal Bible.
Uh-huh.
And by 1907, Crowley founded his own order. I don't even know how you would pronounce it. It was like A symbol, which stood for Silver Star. And in 1909 began publishing his teachings in a periodical called The Equinox.
This is feeling like when people put like, if you know, you know. Like if you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
And there were a few people that were really getting it, right? I mean, there are people that are like, this is our religion now.
yeah, of course.
But then there were also plenty of people that were like, whatever he's doing, I'm not interested. So one of his key early collaborators was J.F.C. Fuller, who would later become a major military strategist and historian.
Mm.
which I thought was fascinating. But anyway, Crowley was obsessed with
That is
uncovering
fascinating.
the true nature of the self. The idea that every person has a unique divine will.
Okay, okay, I'm tracking.
Yeah, this is, I feel like, speaking your language. This is all fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick little clarifier here. I said it would come up. A lot of people, not you, connect Crowley with Satanism, but that's actually a myth. It's not accurate.
Okay.
Because Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan, did pick up this saying of do what thou wilt because he admired Crowley and borrowed his physical style, like the way he dressed and his
Mm-hmm.
sort of vibe, because Crowley was like, he was camp.
Sure.
We're talking like robes and turbans and the things.
Sure.
But also his philosophy. He took both. He you know, it was like his little idol, you know.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And so his Satanic Bible definitely echoes the idea of living according to an individual's true will. And that overlap helps cement the association and the sort of misunderstanding. But Crowley's focus was just mystical self-realization. Crowley had no interest in satanic anything, or that was never a conversation. But a lot of people, because of the same quote, put them together as synonymous. And
Interesting.
yeah, so we're myth busting on the podcast.
I mean, that's what we're doing here.
That's what we're here to do.
Myth bust.
So during World War One, Crowley hopped over to the U.S.
Just a
and
hop, skip, and a jump.
yeah, and he contributed to the pro-German newspaper The Fatherland. Later, he moved to Cefalu on the Italian island of Sicily, where he converted a house into a sanctuary he called the Abbey of Thelema, because remember, that's his religion
Thelema.
that he made. So for the most part, again, he's making a name for himself, but in the if you know, you know sort of way. And he's definitely curating this following, but for all intents and purposes, he's got his own thing going on. He's not bothering anyone.
Yeah.
Until a young follower of his dies.
Okay.
So the rumor mill goes crazy, and people are saying the death happened after she participated in a sacrilegious ritual with Crowley.
Like,
There, some human sacrifice kind of stuff, maybe, or some evil stuff, or some sort of not on the up and up stuff happened, and now she's dead. So now people start denouncing him, and the press even begins calling him the wickedest man in the world,
whoa.
which he would later run with. He would later even refer to himself that way, sort of in a, cheeky way.
This also feels like, as far as supporting the whole Satanists or Church of Satan, what am I trying to say?
The Church of
Satan. Trying to in support of that, I can totally see the most evil man.
Yeah.
Right. To be that feels synonymous. It's becoming more synonymous. I feel like.
So it gets bad enough that he's pretty much exiled from Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like, we don't
banish him.
want you here. So he moves back to England.
Okay.
But by this point, he's done what not many Nepo babies can claim. He's blown through his inheritance. Yeah.
I was gonna say a professional Nepo baby, but I don't know.
He was so
being a pro is the spending or just
he was so extra and over the top. It was like everything was lux. And so because it had to be the best of the best and so luxurious and all the travel, and he spent it so quickly. So yeah, I mean, even before he made a name for himself, he had a reputation for being so kind of obnoxious with the lavish lifestyle. So his last really notable achievement was actually a tarot deck called the Thoth.
Thoth.
Yes.
Thoth.
Yeah. Toth.
I don't like this.
I don't know. It reminds me of like The sneeze.
That, yes, it feels Dr.
Yeah,
Seussy.
it's not great.
No.
Uh-oh, your butthole's on camera. So this was after the publication of his book, The Book of Thoth. I didn't check how that was pronounced, but I made my
Can I get a
notes.
spelling?
Thoth.
Oh, we did just
You
say
did that.
this. We did. Just
So, that was in 1944. So he had collaborated. I'm just gonna scoot these over here with an artist named Frida Harris, and he wound up dying broke and alone in a rooming house in 1947.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This episode's not about him, so we're really doing a speed run through his life in case you didn't catch that.
Yeah, I'm there.
But like I told you at the top, his notoriety would really bloom posthumously. So, and pretty significantly, because the Beatles...
I wish I had said something earlier. When you were talking about someone like gaining popularity or getting bigger, for some reason the Beatles came up in my brain.
Oh, maybe that's why, because they had out their popularity.
But it was then that they felt that they were more popular, right? Like the Beatles were popular when they were
the most famous rock and roll band of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that doesn't apply to the Beatles themselves, but for some reason I was thinking of the Beatles earlier. Maybe there's some crossover,
some sort of connection.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, because the Beatles actually put Crowley's picture on the Sgt. Pepper's and the Lonely Hearts Club Band.
I must have known this.
Sure.
I had to have known this, correct? Something about this. I did think of the Beatles earlier. Anyway.
Well, and Led Zeppelin's guitarist, Jimmy Page, purchased a house previously owned by Crowley in Scotland. And that's where our episode actually takes us today.
Oh.
Because some people believe that Led Zeppelin was cursed, and the cause can be traced to Aleister Crowley himself. Da-da-da. Okay. So let's get into the Boleskine house. The home itself was creepy before Crowley.
Ooh, okay.
The parish of Boleskine, we're in Scotland. The parish of Boleskine was formed in the 13th century. A graveyard was added around the same time. Wow. Nothing strange about any of this, but what was strange was that Minister Thomas Houston was one of a succession of ministers who ran the parish and traveled the area on horseback or on foot, and were tasked with laying animated corpses back in their graves after a local wizard raised the dead.
I heard everything you just said. I don't know that I processed everything you just said.
I was doing these notes and said, sorry?
What?
I have many follow-up questions.
Do we have any other information?
I have no answers for you.
Oh my god.
I'll add it to my list of episodes to look into, I guess.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to put a big old fat pin in that.
Big pin in that. But anyway, that's the area we're in.
Wow. Okay.
Also, do you know the difference between a cemetery and a graveyard?
I do, actually, as a matter of fact.
Prove it.
Well, I absolutely will. Cemetery is on its own. Graveyard is connected to a church.
That's it. So, as for the house itself... It was allegedly built on the site of the original church, which had allegedly caught fire during a service and killed everyone inside. I want you to hold on to that because this will come back.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time?
The house itself was allegedly built on the site of the original church, which had allegedly caught fire during a service and killed everyone inside.
Okay.
So the house was built in the 1760s by Colonel Archibald Fraser and was a hunting lodge, not a residence. Oh. If that gives you any idea of the scale of this place.
Wow. A lodge.
A lodge.
Wow.
It was expanded continuously.
Ooh, it's giving Winchester.
Until about 1830. So all the rooms were situated on one floor. So like huge... just big building, basically.
What?
with 4 bedrooms, a kitchen, a servant's attic bedroom, which was somehow above the kitchen, lounge, drawing room, library, and even a tunnel linking the house to the graveyard. Love that.
Why would you need a
Why would you
tunnel?
need that? I had that same thought. I don't know.
It is a good little tidbit, though.
It's, So Crowley buys the home in 1899 and felt like it was the perfect place to perform a series of operations known as the sacred magic of Abramelin the Mage.
These names are really something else.
What is this, you ask?
Yeah, please tell me.
So this was a 15th century grimoire called the Book of Abramelin. I'm sure I'm not saying any of these things right, but whatever. And it's got a lot of stuff in it based on what I saw. There's just a lot happening. But one of those items is a difficult months-long ritual meant to connect the practitioner with their holy guardian angel. So Crowley's desire to complete this long ritual was part of why he wanted this home. He was convinced that it was going to give him spiritual authority and unlock deeper magical power. So this grimoire was written by a Jewish mystic. We think. It's sort of speculated that that's likely who wrote it.
Okay.
Named Abraham of Worms.
As in?
Worms has to be a place. But Abraham of Worms as a kind of travel diary.
I need to clarify here for a
That's
second.
all I got. I'm not...
WORMS?
Yes, Worms.
Okay. All right.
As a...
Carry on.
As a kind of spiritual handbook and travel diary for his son, detailing how he supposedly learned a powerful ritual from a magician named Abramelin while traveling across Egypt. So this book blends Jewish mysticism, early ceremonial magic, and practical instructions.
Okay.
But Crowley never actually completed it. And that became part of the lore. The attempt alone shaped his beliefs about magic as a path to discovering your individual will, which was his whole thing.
Yep. Okay.
But because he didn't finish this, it played a major role in guiding him toward the idea that spiritual magic wasn't just about conjuring forces. It was about knowing who you truly are and acting in alignment of that will. I don't know what that sound was. We're going to move on. It was behind us.
The cat's over there.
Anyway, so let's talk about the ritual.
Okay.
Crowley had yet another book called The Confessions of Aleister Crowley, which the first thing I thought of was The Confessions of a Shopaholic.
The first thing I thought of was Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
All these things I think are correct.
Wait, Confessions of a Teen... No, that's not right. That's not the right
Lindsay
thing.
Lohan. That was a movie.
Is it? Okay. All right. I knew what I was saying then. Okay.
But so the book that this other book that Crowley wrote detailed the ritual. So we know a lot about it. So he needed a home that was secluded, and there had to be a door opening to the north.
Please pause. We have to get the toy away from the cat. Please hold.
So he needed a home that was secluded, and this home, I mean, hello, it's a graveyard and a giant piece of property.
With
There's nobody near.
Tunnel.
Yeah, and there had to be a door opening to the north from the room to serve as the oratory. Outside of that door, you build a terrace covered with fine river sand. This ends in a lodge where the spirits will congregate. And since this home started as a hunting lodge, I got that. That was the only real connector, and it was secluded, but I was like,
yeah,
okay. It does. I can see how he thought it was kind of kismet. But anyway, for 6 months, he prepared with celibacy. He abstained from alcohol, and he had part of this ritual, part of his steps, was that he was going to have to summon the 12 kings and dukes of hell, bind them, remove their negative influences, which to me sounded like really long, complicated shadow work.
I'm sitting
And
there.
I'm talking shadow work like metaphysical shadow work.
Sure.
Like find your vampires and
Sure.
explode them kind of shadow work.
Yeah.
But while he was in the middle of this very long ritual, the leader of the Golden Dawn called him and was like, hey, I need you in Paris. And so he had to drop what he was doing and head over to Paris. So since he was interrupted, he never banished the demons he had summoned, leaving them to just sort of lurk in this giant home.
So this is what is suspected happened.
Yes.
And that they were released into this home, and they were never, the ritual was never completed.
Not only that, but some people believe that him doing this ritual basically tore a hole in our reality. And actually,
I do want to blame a lot of things on that.
It like tore the fabric of our universe and allowed an evil unlike anything to enter into it.
You know.
It's too easy. Don't do it. So while living,
Obviously, I was going to talk about.
While living there, he's okay. We have to change the tone.
Okay.
While living there,
Uh-huh.
his groundskeeper lost his 2 children, and this was blamed on Crowley's black magic.
Wait, so Crowley has dipped and gone?
He still owns a house. He's still living there, but during his time of owning this house, this happens.
Okay, we don't have to like this. Okay.
Post-ritual.
That's fine. Okay,
Post-ritual.
post-ritual. Okay.
After Crowley moved out, the bad luck still continued. The next owner would end his life in what had been Crowley's bedroom. And the next couple that moved in were newlyweds. The wife was blind. She started that way. That's not the tragic part of the story. But after a month of being there, her new husband walked out, leaving her to wander this unfamiliar home on her own, blind. It traded hands a few times until it wound up being purchased by Jimmy Page in 1970.
Okay.
So he was a collector of Crowley memorabilia. He was a
so
big fan.
he knew.
Big fan.
I was going to ask, as a realtor, do we feel like that's a selling point? Or do we feel that is... It depends on the buyer. It depends.
I mean, he sought it out.
Uh-huh.
Because he knew that it was owned by him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know that it's a selling point or not a selling point, but I think you're going to know it.
Disclose it. That's what I was trying to go for.
Yeah.
Like how they disclose things.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean,
that's
I
part
don't
of
know
the
how it works in
disclosure.
Scotland. I think it's actually different state by state if you have to disclose if like someone died in the house,
Sure.
how they died, whatever. So Jimmy Page, super into Crowley memorabilia, had read all of his stuff. That when he took the house on, it was kind of trashed, but he still was pretty thrilled. He thought it would be a great atmosphere for songwriting, but he didn't really spend a lot of time there at all. But he did arrange for it to be restored exactly as it would have been while Crowley was there.
Wow.
Yeah, he wanted to live in Crowley's house.
It.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I do.
He even commissioned an artist to paint some Crowley-esque murals on the walls based on the murals in Crowley's Abbey of Thelema in Sicily, which were discovered by Kenneth Anger in 1955. Let's talk about Kenneth Anger for a minute. I know there's a lot of names in this story.
I'm there.
Just bear with
I'm
me.
following you. Yeah.
So Kenneth was an experimental filmmaker with an interest in the occult and had actually rented the home from Jimmy Page for a little while in 1969. And then Jimmy Page called up his buddy Malcolm Dent. Malcolm explains that he wasn't doing much. And so Jimmy Page said, do you want to come and be like my housekeeper in this house in Scotland? And he said that he was kind of in a weird place. And so he
Great
said,
opportunity.
yeah. He's like, it'll be a good project, I guess, whatever.
Oh, yikes.
But he was also pretty shocked at the state of the home. There had already been at least one fire.
Oh.
And the repairs that had been done before Page bought it were pretty rough. Definitely kind of half-assed.
It's giving The landlord special.
Yes. Yeah, like, well, I mean, we patched a wall, it's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
And the grounds were also in really poor shape. So Dent was a skeptic as far as supernatural and stuff. Like he obviously knew who had the house before, kind of the history of it, but he wasn't going in thinking, "Ooh, wow." It was just kind of like, yeah, okay, Jimmy's into that.
Sure.
But it only took a few weeks before things started to get
He
weird.
changed. Did he change his
He changed his
attitude?
tune. He heard, okay, we got this
Oh
story.
wow. Okay.
He heard some weird rumbling sounds from the hallway and he couldn't find the source. So he did some research and finds that apparently this was kind of a known haunting even back to Crowley's time. Like he heard these things. And it was supposed that it was the head of Lord Lovat, even though his execution had happened all the way in London.
Assuming he was beheaded.
Well, okay, so the house was commissioned by this guy's descendant, Lord what's his face. But why his head or his headless body would be in the house doesn't seem to have any kind of link because he was beheaded in London.
Sure. Yeah.
We're in Scotland.
Yeah.
Why is his head rolling around the hallway?
I mean, that's what I'm asking. You know, why is this? I mean, why would your head be rolling around in the hallway?
Why is your head in the hallway? So, but anyway, he's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move past the head thing. But
Sometimes heads just roll.
heads will roll. But Dent did say the most terrifying night. Do not knock that. It's empty. Who cares? Dent did say the most terrifying night of his life happened at the home when he woke up one night and heard what sounded like an animal snorting and banging against his bedroom door. He did what I think we would all do, and he just like totally froze. Basically, little kid under the covers kind of energy. Until the sun came up.
That's so understandable.
So obviously, when the sun came up, it wasn't dark anymore. He opens the door. Of course, nothing's there, but he was positive it was pure evil.
Ew,
that was how he described it.
Whoa. I don't like this.
He was like, "Excuse me, why is there stuff in where?"
There's usually not. Oh.
She said, "I'm gonna eat your plants."
Whatever.
So a friend of his had even stayed the night, a friend of Dent's, had stayed the night at some point and actually claimed that she was attacked by some kind of devil. I'm curious if it was like sleep paralysis demon.
Maybe.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But it is worth noting.
And also, of course, you got some good classic haunting stuff. Doors slamming.
Yep.
Doors being closed when they'd been left opened. Carpets and rugs rolled up. How did that happen?
Weird.
Chairs switching places. Lots of weird things. But regardless, Page continued to own the house until like the early 90s. Another source said that he had it until 2015. Wikipedia, which I know... Listen.
Wait.
Oh, okay. I understand that Wikipedia is not the be-all, end-all of facts. Anybody can go in there and edit things.
Sure.
But I'm just noting here that some articles said Jimmy Page owned it until the 90s. Some said 2015. We're just gonna... Let's go somewhere in the middle. Let's say late 90s, early 2000s. But anyway, when he did sell it, he did at least admit that he felt some bad vibes ran through it. Those were kind of his words.
Okay.
Something that did happen in 2015 was that the house caught fire in the kitchen.
Another fire.
Despite no one being home at the time. So
I
I'm
mean,
blaming ghosts.
I have heard of that happening before. Like what is it called?
Like an electrical
combustion.
fire. Oh, yeah.
Right.
But still, I mean, that's 3 fires at least.
Yeah, that's weird.
There's a lot of fires. So... okay, so anyway, how Jimmy Page even came to sort of want this house. At one time, he owned the biggest collection of first edition books by Crowley. He had read his first Crowley book when he was 15.
Okay, well, that's part of the problem.
He actually owned an occult bookstore in London called Equinox. Jimmy Page was a fan. He incorporated Crowley and Thelema elements into his music and stage persona, and Do What Thou Wilt Shall Be the Whole of the Law even appears on the back cover of the album Led Zeppelin 4.
Really?
And that album we're going to talk about a lot.
Great.
So I mentioned that Page wasn't actually at Boleskine a lot. It was really just Dent, his housekeeper, that had like a lot of these experiences. But it was reported when he was there, he was conducting some rituals.
Oh, okay.
He's not just a fan, he's a practitioner. Allegedly, because I don't want to be sued. Now,
allegedly,
there are some fun rumors that come from this. One being that David Bowie visited him once and actually left super freaked out, thinking that Page was trying to curse him.
Okay, I'm going to say something really quickly.
Yeah. Say it slowly.
Actually, wait a second. No, it's a Van Halen shirt. Never mind. Okay. Led Zeppelin, I would argue, is the most merchandised iconography. And I mean, it's so...
Like the symbols and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to talk about every one of them.
I mean, Led Zeppelin is... You could go to any store ever, anywhere, and at some point in time, they have sold a shirt that said Led Zeppelin. So that's just really interesting.
So, and less fun, more awkward, Robert Plant, Zeppelin's singer, felt pretty at odds with Page's obsession because he was more of a hippie. He's more like, I'm just laid back. Let life do what life's gonna do. And then you got Jimmy Page over here allegedly conducting rituals. So different energies.
Much different energies.
But for the most part, Jimmy Page's interest in Crowley, and I would say obsession with Crowley, is more of a fun fact, right? It's more like, oh yeah, that's like his special interest, right? That's his special interest. But eventually it took a turn, and people start to assume, speculate, that Page sold his soul to the devil amongst these little occult things happening. Like it was a
part of the rituals or whatever.
It was sort of like his fascination there led to, actually, you know what if I just made a little bartering? It got dark. So on the same album that Crowley was quoted, Stairway to Heaven was a track. Ever heard of it?
I don't know.
Only one of actually the most famous rock and roll songs of all time. And there was a rumor, and I feel like there was a rumor about this with the Beatles. I think it was a White Album. I think everyone's had a rumor about this at some point, but there was a rumor that if you played Stairway to Heaven backward, it revealed satanic messages.
I've heard this a lot, yes.
Of course. Now, this has been debunked, but, some people don't care. Some people are going to tell that story and not say, but it doesn't.
Sometimes people love to spread a little misinformation.
Just pepper it in there. Campfire stories aren't fun when you go, except none of this is true, right?
Yeah, right.
But it also it was ripe for this kind of rumor because Robert Plant actually said that the whole song came to him in a dream.
Oh.
Anyway, since the theory was that they had all been... Since the theory was that all of their souls had been kind of sold off, the dream was seen as like a gift from the devil to the people that believed some stuff's going down.
The devil gives gifts.
And you gave them souls. I don't know why they need them, but that's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other episode.
It really is.
Yeah.
So actually, it's on my list, so don't take it. So people suspected that Page had sold his soul, Plant's soul, and John Bonham's.
Wait a second. I have some logistical questions that I don't know if you have the answers to.
Go ahead.
Is it suspected that, say, for example, I sell my soul to the devil, okay? Which I don't, by the way. Would I then be able to be like, yeah, Heather's is up for grabs too?
No, and I do have the answer to this because the idea is that he did it and convinced Robert Plant and John Bonham to do it too.
I have
But
lots
could
of
not convince John Paul Jones to do it.
well, look,
And that's going to come up.
I have a lot of logistical comments here that are not necessarily, they're tangentable, but I won't go down them. However, I do feel like I need to state the fact that I feel like consent is like a part of this.
Well, that's the whole idea, is that those 3 out of the 4 would have consented.
But like being convinced, this is where I'm getting into
I see what you mean.
semantics. Like you can't convince, in my opinion, if I believed in selling your soul to the devil, if I did believe in selling your soul to the devil, I wouldn't believe that you could be convinced to sell your soul to the devil, because
Not
being
even-
convinced is not one fully consensual.
Not even if I said, if we do this, we will be one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. So, Page is thought to have asked his bandmates to perform a ritual with him
Okay.
that would cement Led Zeppelin's name in rock and roll history and set them up for life.
Is playing music not a ritual? Is making music?
What I was taught in my Catholic school was that singing is praying twice.
There are a reason why some. I mean, we've talked about this too, about how Calvinists don't do instruments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all throughout all sorts of different belief systems that specific things mean this, whatever. I mean, maybe we'll cut this, maybe we won't. If I had gone to a pretty significantly influential concert around the same time that I went to like a church, right? Like a what are they called? Like the really popular, more young churches. What am I trying
Like a
to
mega
say?
church?
Mega church. That's the word I'm looking for. If I had gone to like a really good concert with the best band, my favorite artists, around the same time that I was into like going to mega churches, it probably would have clicked sooner. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a spiritual experience. There's a word for it, collective phenomenon. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
it's another side tangent. But I could definitely get down with music being ritualistic and that they're performing some sort of like
like already
spell, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but this, and yes. So yes, and because this would have been a whole separate
Thing.
situation,
Right.
And the ritual actually couldn't be spoken of, but it would redefine their futures and that of the band if it happened. If it happened, it was successful.
Well, yeah.
But it's thought that the only person to refuse to participate was John Paul Jones, and that's important.
Yes, it is.
So after this alleged ritual, Robert Plant was nearly killed in a serious car accident, and 2 weeks later, his Aston Martin fell on top of him and broke his ribs.
What? Assuming he was underneath it trying to fix something, and it got, whoa.
There's more. There's a lot more. So this album, the album itself, like the physical album, has a lot of lore. Its iconic cover features 4 symbols that are believed to be related to Page's interest in alchemy. Mm-hmm. The theory is that they represent the 4 stages of the alchemical process: negrito, which is blackness; albedo, which is whiteness; citrinitas, which is yellowness; and rubedo, which is redness.
Okay.
On the inside of the album's cover was a painting of the Hermit, a tarot card.
Yep.
And then there were 4 sigils representing Page, Jones, Bonham, and Plant. Most of these sigils can be traced to Rudolf Koch's 1955 Book of Science, which is a work featuring a collection of ancient magical and alchemical symbols from all over the world. Mm-hmm. Plant's sigil is said to be the feature of truth, a representation of the Egyptian goddess Maat. John Bonham's was the least occult-like. It was a drum kit.
Interesting.
JPJ's signal was a Celtic symbol co-opted by Christianity to represent the Trinity among the Britons.
Okay.
Page's symbol was referred to as Zoso.
Why is that so familiar?
Z-O-S-O. You've seen it because you've seen that.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah. Okay.
So some people think it was from a very famous black magic grimoire called Les Dragons Rouges, which actually contained detailed instructions for making a pact with the devil.
Okay.
Page publicly claimed he would never tell anyone what any of the sigils mean, especially his. But basically, they had their own sigils, and these are used in magic, often the signature of a demon or spirit. Presently, as of this recording, they're also used in chaos magic, but can be used for blessings or curses as well.
Interesting.
Sandy Denny, a collaborator, also got her own sigil, but some people view her as one of the first victims of the curse.
Oh.
She suffered from mental illness and began throwing herself off flights of stairs. In 1978, she was found at the foot of a staircase in her home in a coma.
Was she partnered? Do we know?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I mentioned Kenneth Anger earlier. Remember, he had rented the house for a little while. He was also a big fan of Aleister Crowley. He and Paige actually had met in an auction for some of Crowley's memorabilia. He commissioned Paige to do the soundtrack for a film called Lucifer Rising.
What?
A very messy project. It had been in development for 7 years already at this point. The lead actor, Bobby Beausoleil, actually a member of the Manson family, had to quit.
Oh, they're not beating these allegations.
He stole rough cuts and cameras. Kenneth Anger allegedly made a talisman to curse him, and then he wound up in prison for life within a year of that curse.
Oh my God.
During this time...
What?
Girl.
You know that meme of all the angles and the numbers? That's me right now.
So during this time is when Anger was renting the Bull scheme, but he was living there rent free. He was he was just there while he worked on the composition. I say that with quotes because there was no work happening. Like, Anger quickly found that they could not work together because Paige's drug addictions were too hard to work with.
And not once this time have I thought about them all doing drugs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is a huge part of this.
Yes. And Paige only delivered half of what he was paid to do. Anger was pissed.
Sure.
The project fell apart. They had a huge fight, and Paige eventually evicted him from Boleskine. What the drama.
So much drama.
So Anger went to the media, publicly placed a curse on Paige and his band.
Okay, when you say publicly placed a curse,
he's out here talking, just talking. He's just out here.
He's on the news saying, I banish thee.
What? Yes, he's making a big show of this.
A symbol.
Yeah. Yes. So there are other people that think this curse is what marked the beginning of the end for Zeppelin.
Okay.
Because months later, Plant was nearly killed in a second, much more serious car crash when he drove off a cliff in Greece with his family in the car.
Do we know?
He did not do it on purpose.
Okay. How did you know? That was going to be my question.
But it was a serious accident because he was actually in a wheelchair for a few performances after this.
Okay.
As soon as he recovered, it's a miracle he's walking, right?
Yeah.
He's diagnosed with serious laryngitis, can't sing, causing the band to cancel the tour that was expected to be their biggest ever, with tickets selling out at a rate of 72,000 a day. Wow. Like dominoes falling, things escalate quickly. The cancellation leads to a riot in Cincinnati where fans actually stormed the planned venue. Coincidentally...
Wait, I know about this.
No, you don't. What you're thinking of is the scene of the riot would later become the same place where 11 people would die after the Who's trampling incident.
You knew.
Same venue.
Whoa. Wow.
It gives me chill bumps.
Wow.
I'm going to read that one more time. The cancellation of their show leads to a riot in Cincinnati where fans stormed the planned venue. So there's no show happening. They're just rioting. this is the same place that 11 years later, while The Who is supposed to have a show, there is a trampling, horrible ordeal. 11 people die.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah, I think My Favorite Murder covered that story.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, because I did the same when I was taking these notes. I was like, oh yeah.
I
And then
know
I
about
went,
this.
oh.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So finally,
Wow. Okay.
finally the tour kicks off, filled with drama.
Mm-hmm.
There are assaults and arrests and prison sentences. A promoter believed that someone assaulted a band manager's son for stealing a dressing room sign. He was 11. I would also be stealing a dressing room sign. But because this promoter witnessed this happen, someone like beat the kid up seeing it happen. The 4 men jumped this guy because they're like, you don't mess with kids, right?
Right, sure.
So people were arrested. It was a whole thing. Then Plant receives a call from his wife saying their little boy Carrick was ill.
Oh no.
He was 5. It was very sudden. It was like something's wrong. She calls back 2 hours later. He's died.
What? What from? What do you mean? What did he die from? Do we know what he died from?
It was a very like sudden illness, like infection situation.
What?
The band obviously immediately canceled the remainder of the tour.
Sure.
Plant withdraws from the public eye.
Obviously.
Returns to his family in England. Meanwhile, Page's heroin and cocaine addiction is getting much worse.
Right.
He's like barely functioning.
Right.
John Bonham, with his alcoholism, starting to act very violently. On September 25th, 1980, John, the drummer, dies after partying at Page's rented mansion in Los Angeles. And there was speculation that it was linked to Page's occult interests. Others took it further and claimed that Page was actually using him in a black magic ritual at the time of his death. But of course, the band's actual retelling of that night was he was trashed, he blacked out, we put him to bed, we thought he was fine, he wasn't fine.
And we'll never know.
Obviously, incredibly painful claim because Page and all of them were heartbroken after the loss of their drummer. And it also marked the full dissolution of the band. Yeah. Because they felt that that the drumming of Led Zeppelin was such a poignant separator.
I mean, yeah.
That, like they're not gonna replace him. They're not gonna find a drummer and be like, yeah, we're still the band. Yeah. So they just didn't want to do it. Sure. So some people look at all of these things and say, it's a curse. And of course, the immediate follow-up question is, why would Page be unaffected if it was all because of him? But I would argue that actually to witness all of this suffering and know that people blame you for it.
Right. Is your suffering.
Yeah. Less sympathetic, I also saw a point that while he may be alive and well, he has never been able to achieve commercial success or even write a hit again. Yeah. As if the magic just stopped. Yeah. So let's just recap a little bit. 1975, car accident in Greece. 1977, Carrick passes away. 1980, John dies. It happened quickly. So, hold on. I think there's like one other. No, okay. Anyway, so at the end of the day, you have so many. You have so many pieces to this, and I think. I think it was a time in rock and roll. It was too much. It was excess. It was party. It was the things. And that's not interesting. What is interesting is to really grab onto this unique obsession that this band member has and start to connect it with everything. Multiple things can be true. I think that Aleister Crowley can have unleashed something in that home. I think that that sort of energy can permeate a person. I think that if you are playing with things that nobody really understands, that's dangerous if you believe in that sort of thing. I believe in manifestation. There are a lot of things that I think you can also go, yes, and, you know, I do not believe he sold his soul to the devil. I am open to the idea that they were doing rituals together. Sure.
Of course they were.
Listen, you put a bunch of girls in a house, they're doing light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Of course.
You put a bunch of boys in a house, they're probably putting on robes and doing some stuff. Come on.
That is what, yes, absolutely. I'm right there. Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying. You can look at a lot of things and say, that's a ritual. Us getting together weekly to tell each other stories, arguably a ritual. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, and. Yes, and I think when it started, I think it's kind of fun, right? It's kind of fun to be like, ooh, spooky.
When the rumor started,
he's into this. Oh, wow, all of a sudden they just rose to fame. Wow, look at this. It's so crazy. Wow, that song came to him in a dream. Isn't that amazing? But once you get to the loss of a little boy,
right,
and the really, really unfortunate,
deeply traumatic,
loss of someone to alcoholism, basically, and really, really sad drug problems, and all these things, it's like, oh, I'm not having fun anymore telling this story. Let's go back to that other thing. So, again, going back to the angry comment on my YouTube video all those years ago.
I bet it stuck with you.
Yeah, it is a little silly, right? Or like, no, of course they weren't cursed. That's fine. Yes, totally. But I think they had a really, really serious bout of bad luck following, juxtaposing this incredible skyrocket of good luck. And it's easy to look at that and go, that's weird.
Something had to have happened. Yeah.
Whoa, he drove off a cliff. Whoa, his car fell on him. Whoa, this woman threw herself down the stairs. Yes.
I have so many thoughts.
Same. Thank him. Thank him with your mouth.
Thank him. Say him. Thank him with your mouth. I've been thinking about generational trauma. I've been thinking about how so much of like the way that you're speaking about something like a curse is the way that I hear people talk about the way that their trauma manifests in their families and for themselves. And it's like, okay, causation, correlation, right? There's people, it's a pattern recognition, blah, 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 whatever. Let it be known. Nobody really needs to nobody needs to hear this to confirm this is the case. I know that most people know. Musicians,
artistic people.
Need I say more?
I think artistic, right brain people, and I'm saying
and it something about right the. Let me see if I can put this succinctly. As we know, that's one of my challenges. The reason or reasons why things gain popularity fast is because they're enticing. You know what's super enticing is when someone engages with the world in a way that is bold, that is different, that is authentic, or kind of unbridled.
Yeah.
Creating things, expression, things just billowing out of people, right? Whether it's in a dream, whether it's like we just went to the Dream World exhibit. We just went to see Dali, this surrealist exhibit that's like, talk about a physical portrayal of so much of what we're talking about,
Yeah.
would be something like surrealism.
Yeah.
Where it's just like manifestation of like these dreams and these just like these sensations and the senses
and symbols, and like, how could you even imagine such an image?
Yes.
And yeah.
So otherworldly-ish, whatever. Point being, I can absolutely understand how people would want to make all of these statements about how,
especially when they're being enforced by Page himself, right? Being like, I'll never explain the sigils.
Yes.
I'll never, especially mine.
I mean, that's just such a deep desire to be so deeply misunderstood.
Yeah, it's kind of like dangling a carrot, right?
Of course.
Because he was very vocal about Crowley. I mean, it wasn't like people had to dig that up. So he knows that people are leading with this.
Right.
And he's leaning into it.
As it sounds opportunistic, in my opinion.
You know, and it's, let me be careful with how I say this. Led Zeppelin is not overrated. That's not where I'm going with this. I am curious how much all of this impacted success in terms of, you know, like, how do I word this correctly? Because I don't want someone to be like, what, like, they wouldn't have been successful if, that's not,
well,
that's
let
not where I'm
them
going.
say that, but what were you gonna say? Yeah.
What I'm just thinking, this is such lore,
right?
That if they didn't have that piece, if it was just them and no one had a special interest, there was no occult tie, there were no sigils, what would be different? Like, I wonder if anything would have changed.
Sensationalism, like,
but maybe not, right?
Sure.
I mean, maybe
that's a fair question.
Maybe Just Plant saying that song came to me in a dream. Maybe that would have been the thing.
Sure.
But I am curious.
It added to the noise.
Did that actually do anything, or is it just?
You know what I would be super interested to know? I would love to hear from people who actually were teenagers at this time.
Like, if that was anything they even cared about.
To know what it was like to experience this in real time. To know what it felt like. Did it feel like you're being what am I saying? Like, you're being alternative.
Like rebellious.
Did it feel like you were being? Did it feel like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, and
because their flavor now, obviously, and as so many very well-known artists over time, we just said this earlier, do you think Imagine Dragons would have ever known that they would have their popularity with kids? And I'm like, no, of course not.
Yeah.
So since we were in college to now, their flavor has changed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, over time, as decades pass, like, Led Zeppelin now is a way different energy to it.
Yeah.
Than it did then. Maybe not, whatever, it's an arguable point. But do you get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying. Yeah. And I think, too, it's such a time and place, because if this exact story, this exact lore, this exact special interest, if all of this were to happen right now, no one would care.
No.
They would still care about the music. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm saying, as far as this story goes, people would be like, yeah, cool, you're into spooky shit, so is everybody else.
Exactly. I was thinking about obviously culturally what was going on at the time.
Yeah.
That's the main
That's the whole
factor.
thing.
That is the whole thing.
Yeah. And just like with spiritualism and the rise of that we talked about, you know, that when it was new and when it was taboo.
Right.
When a thing is taboo, it draws a certain group.
That is a really good point. I think, really, if we were to overgeneralize here, and someone who is much more educated with cultural swings and nuance and just kind of sociocultural trends.
Yeah.
Whatever. I have learned this at some point in my life. Couldn't tell you the origin. Is that counterculture occurs in response to a collective belief, a collective thing happening. The counterculture comes, then the counterculture, which we could
becomes the mainstream
whole
thing.
other episode on who are the origins of the counterculture. Even saying, even some things that I have caught myself saying so many times that we've recorded, I'm thinking to myself, it's so funny because by the time it gets to me and I'm saying it on a podcast, I got lots of opinions about that part, but just challenging myself to adjust my vocabulary, one, and also just like where do the things I say come from?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Where'd I get that idea? Where'd I get that sense?
Yes. Yeah. And point being, counterculture in response to whatever's culturally going on, this is part of the counterculture.
Well, and think about too, 70s rock and roll.
Yeah.
Think about how many teenagers' moms were clutching their pearls.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course.
Which makes those teenagers go, I love this band.
Absolutely.
This is my favorite band.
That's why I want to know. I want to know from
and they worship the devil. You know? Yeah, you should be scared, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely adds to their... It does. It absolutely adds to their...
appeal.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's
I was going to ask you something about... There was a specific question I had for you, and I'm trying to recover it and recall it. But it had to do with something from earlier that you were talking about, and I was going to ask your opinion because the way you were speaking about it, I was like, oh, I need to ask her opinion about that. Are there any opinions that you have not shared about anything that you uncovered or learned about?
I don't think so. No.
Do you like listening? Did you grow up listening to Led Zeppelin? What's your familiarity?
I do like Led Zeppelin. The my band has covered Zeppelin songs in the past. Yes, and that's why I'm saying I don't find them to be overrated. I really respect them as a band. I like Led Zeppelin. But I also like spooky shit. And so I think it's a fun meshing of my own special interests of classic rock and spooky things. Especially because I think you have such a rich collection of characters in this tapestry of story.
Totally.
Because just starting with Aleister Crowley, you get to all these people and all of these connections. And I mean, we talked about Yeats in a story where I'm telling you about Led Zeppelin. Right? But of course that's because of Maud and their whole thing. And whatever. That's my own special interest.
Sure, yeah.
And her astral projection and all that, you know, but it's a rich story. And the fact that it's not just the people that are haunted in the story, it's the homes.
Yes.
And it's good.
I did want to know, I don't know what our time is at this. We don't, I can't really even see
I can't see it.
Long. Let me double check.
Like 1:10?
It's an hour and a half.
Oh, it's 12:30. Jerry, we have to get up early and have breakfast?
Oh, God. Okay, maybe we'll adjust our time. Yeah.
Tuck me in.
All right. Well,
I have to take my makeup off.
I did take a shower before this, so I could go straight to bed after.
What a brat.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk here. I'm going to tell you what I wanted to talk more about, and we're not going to do that right now. But I do want to tell you what I want to talk more about. The house.
Yes.
You know what? This is going to come up in other episodes, other podcasts, because I can already off the top of my head, I can think of things that I can attach this to. But poltergeist, one, generational trauma. I've already mentioned that. The way that generational traumas happen and what manifestations, all those things. I have a lot of opinions about that, thoughts, whatever. And then there was something else too, but it's left me now. But you get my drift. You catch me.
I think just the topic of poltergeist would be perfect to pull in Bolskine because energy has to go somewhere, and whether he actually did tear open our reality and let stuff in,
Oh my God, that's what it was.
he was still doing stuff.
That's what it was. That was the thing. What's your tearing open in reality? And
I think that's,
were you like, that's the craziest
I
thing
think
I've
that's a
ever
little
heard.
dramatic.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it let in an evil we've never known the likes of, kind of thing.
Right.
But I do think doing the things that he was doing or attempting, he absolutely created an energy.
Well, I would love to, if we could at in any way, shape, or form know more about these suspected rituals, I would be absolutely eating that up.
Yeah, we can do a deep dive into like the grimoires and the Crowley books, and because again, that was a speed run of Aleister Crowley.
Right.
He can have his own spotlight time, but yeah, we can definitely get into that.
Well, yeah, okay. Wow, I can't believe it's been an hour and a half.
I don't remember the last time I was up this late.
I'm proud of you.
I'm tired.
Bye.
Bye.